Hello guys, Sue Jerry speaking. Welcome to Book Reviews, episode number 24. And today we read you Bob Barker. Now, Priceless Memories. Now, for this episode, I just want to celebrate Bob Barker's 98th birthday to finish off this book. Now, in order to celebrate the 25th episode this upcoming day, I just want to get this out of the way, okay? With chapters 2 and 3 of this book today. Because whenever I'm done with this book, reads, I'm ready to finish off. Instead of a cake, I'm going to eat something very special. You will see. Right now, I'm going to read chapter 2 for you. And I'm going to read chapter 3, and we'll do something else, okay? Okay, there we go. Here we go. Chapter 2. I go to work with Mark Gisman as well. I'm not going to read 2 on this part, but okay. Move on. Okay, can I search it first before we begin? Because I don't know where I'm at right now. Sorry, I have to eat this burger. Sorry. Oh, come on. We're in the wrong name. 23. Search. That is the wrong one. Let's see what I found. I did, however, want to do switch sides. That's part of my event for December. That's Christmas Day, by the way. That's spoiler. But anyway, where is 23? I have to find it somewhere. I found Marshall Minute, one of the episodes of Marshall Minute. Where is that? Where is that? Okay. It's on here somewhere, but it's not in the 2015 zone. Somewhere. Book reviews, oh man. Oh man. Yeah, we did, however, did bedtime stories. Oh man. That was a good thing I put on YouTube. But I did really edit out the parts where I have Thunderstruck on here. That was a good thing. Let me check. I couldn't find a book review. Hang on folks. We got book reviews on something else. Oh, there it is. Oh, man. Book reviews. Oh, it's still on food reviews so far, okay. Okay, we're gonna do this anyway. We're gonna have to. We don't have much time left. Book reviews and search. Okay, never mind. I found it. Okay. It took me a long time to read this, but oh well. Something like nearly 4 minutes to finish the search, and well, actually, 2.5 minutes to find it, but I found it anyway. Let's go ahead and read this now. Let's not waste any time. In the 1950s, when the golden age of television made in the works, okay, it's where the golden age. Then the 1970s went the silver age. Ooh, okay. And that's why I've explained it to you guys earlier. The New Era Report came out in 1976. But anyway, because of that was relaunched The Price is Right, daytime television show, which became a huge success as achieved of the expeditions. Okay, makes sense to me, but okay. The Price is Right has been a successful television show for years before I become involved with it. It had been off the air for 8 years. Wow, okay. Johnny Gilbert was announcer for ABC version. Don Paulo was announcer for NBC version. Bill Cohen was the host. So why bother? Okay. We believe that we were going to have a successful show, but one we could ever did that we were going to host a show for 35 years. Okay. Wow. That the program would be a landmark ratings star the institution of daytime television history. Unless you have hair, unless your hair, is becoming gray, and you have discovered you have a few wrinkles, the Priceless probably. Next page. The show for which you will never meet. From the very beginning, I love it and never stop loving it. I agree with Bob Barker big time. The show during the start consolidation, if I pronounce this word, sorry. We need to go back into 1971. Okay, that makes sense now. I've been doing true for crime twists on television since 1956. Okay? That's 15 years of hosting of national audiences, production show. Before that, I have done live radio shows for 6 years. For several, I can't pronounce this word, sorry. I can't pronounce this word, sorry. Entertainment formats, that's what I did. This is what I always did. Ever before edition shows. I did shows for grocery stores, drugstores, theaters, and parks. That makes sense now, okay? I did man on the street shows, and I did shows with department stores and hardware stores. I was always improvising, making combinations, and creating spontaneous, that's this word, sorry. Entertainment, with rehearsed people. Makes sense now. I did act, I didn't sing, I did dance, I didn't tell jokes, but I did experience an audience participation. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with you, Bob Barker, big time. Some people like playing the saxophone. Wow, okay. I like doing audience participation shows. When I started the business, many of the great hosts were doing audience participation shows. Art, like Larry Happenhouse it. Sorry. Had his show, Rob Edwards was brilliant in his. Jack Bailey on the Queen of the Day, for a day, excuse me, I misspoke, but anyway. Was another great one. I had my first radio show in Missouri, which I've read on book reviews, but wow, okay. When I was 21 years old. It was same kind of show that I was going to go on doing until I retired at 84. I enjoyed it when I was young, and I would enjoy it until just as much as I could become not so young. Mark Goodson was one of the all-time great game show minds. Had created The Price is Right and put it on NBC back in 1956. The original host was Bill Cohen, and the show ran on NBC until 1963. ABC actually picked up the program briefly. The price went off the air in 1965, which I've read about on Wikipedia. Mark Goodson had a great talent for games and television. He was what it called game show packager. A game show packager manages all the elements of a show. The idea of a show, host, cast, producer, director, staff, and probably the most important of all, he sells the show to the network. It's syndication. Etc. That was too much information right there. Excuse me. He puts the whole package together. Okay, that makes sense now. Mark Guzman and Ralph Edwards were two of the best in the business. That is a wow to me, okay? Guzman had developed What's My Line, that's good enough. To Tell the Truth, and I Got a Secret. Those are good game shows. He has great incense. Both of them were sassy professionals. Game shows took a lot of time to develop. I mean, I took a lot of time to develop as well as for LJPs and such club developments. Me. Filmmaking TV. Tinkering with the ideas, coming up with some of the right format, and of course, just the right time, culmination, I have the right mixed-up anyway. I have chance, entertainment, and novelty. Misspelled the word, sorry. And when the shows are success, they can be extremely lucrative, but the very native nature, game shows are a huge profit center, and they can bring in some initial advertising revenue. For decades, daytime game shows profits help define their networks' more expensive game primetime mistakes. The careers and men have behind their game shows are starved. I don't know where it is, sorry. STHREWD. Sorry. Anyway. Web smart and financially astute businessman. Many of them, like Mark Guzman and his partner Bill Totten, became a stormy wealthy Merv Griffin, which is Jeopardy! Wheel of Fortune, by the way, which I have huge fans of since the late 90s as a kid. By the way, I stopped watching Wheel of Jeopardy! 2016 until 2020. That's just me. Was another fellow who, in the addition to everything else, he did create Jeopardy! Wheel of Fortune, which I mentioned before. He made a fortune as well. Okay, I have always said that game shows within the television industry, on like a stock market, there are times when they are extraordinarily popular. Several shows within the genre were flourishing programmers. We're flying the market with, let me turn to the next page, okay? How much longer is this chapter on? Let's see. And the flies bother me when I okay, there we go. That's just, yeah, okay. Move on. Let's see. Okay, that's it. Okay. New game shows. Then there were times when game shows slump, popularity once wanes. Excuse me, my spell, but anyway. And the networks pulled back, but like stock market after a while, the game shows surge back in popularity. Guzman had talked to me at one time about doing another game show called Beat the Clock for syndication. For me, that was a problem because I was doing Truth or Consequences in syndication, and my contract stipulated that I could not do another syndication show, and I agree with that. And I agree with Bob with this one. I didn't want to leave Truth, and I couldn't do both. So Mark and I could get together on Beat the Clock. So about a few years later, 1972, Mark contacted me about doing a network show called The Price is Right. Conceptually, there was a not VA problem. Above my contract for T or C prohibited me from doing another syndication program, and I could do another show on my own. Mark wanted me to bring back Price is Right on CBS. I That was a good thing. And he wanted me as a host. We met and he told me about his ideas for various games. He wanted to do it on the show, and how he wanted to structure the format. Mark told me he thought I wanted to be part of the show, and asked me if I wanted to be interested. And I thought it would be great. It was a good idea. After all, it was a kind of audience participation show I'd be doing that for all my life, and I did not have to leave truth or consequences, which I agree. Before The Price is Right came back on the air, audience participation shows have lost some structure. In fact, CBS have not had a game show on the network for 4 years. However, Mark Guzman and I contracted new Price is Right, and it was called then, would have been very successful. Let me just read that, okay? Mark has fine-tuned on the shows to make it much faster moving. Let me just shoot this bug out of the way, stupid bug, okay? Okay, moving on. Mark had fine-tuned the show to make it much faster moving, more audience-friendly, and more dynamic all around. Also, the show was designed to give me every opportunity to interact with the contestants and show studio audience. It also have the feel of a live event. More games, more variety, and of course, bigger prizes. And Alex would agree with that if he's watching now. But anyway, it was still a gamble, I suppose, but when us involved, but it would be a winning formula. I started doing Price Right on September 4th, 1972. The longest and most rewarding ride in my career was underway. Yeah, I agree with that. As it turned out, I did leave True Consequences about 3 years later. But the first 3 years that I was on Prize, 1972, 1974, I did both shows. I was on half an hour a day with Prize, and half an hour every night with Truth. By 1975, we taped enough Truth shows for a year of syndication. The shows have been seen for only 4 markets. In a smart move, they just stopped production use the backlog and make nothing but money for a year with production costs. During that year, Price was a half-hour format for a full hour. Okay. True for Consequences want me to do the show again, but Saul Lyon, the legend agent, was a William Morris agency who was replacing me at the time, advised me not to do it. He says he went within an hour in the daytime and a half hour at night. I was exposed. And I agree with Bob on what happened. Anyway, I took his advice. We passed on continuing with True for Consequences. Also, my decision was influenced by the fact that some of the people whom I had worked with gone. Most important one being Ed Badley. The producer Bobby Laffer, one of my favorite writers in the show, had died as well. And Charlie Long, Charlie Long, a dear friend, had retired. Okay. I'm sorry about that, folks. It just both bothering me. But moving on. Mark Guzman was a smart businessman, a generous soul, and one who brought me The Price is Right. I hear a few years later, however, that Mark wasn't the only one who wanted me to do The Price is Right. Bud Grant, wow, who later went on to become a legendary television executive, was more instrumental on orchestrating the whole deal, and I realized at the time Bud Grant was head of daytime television at CBS. He had been an assistant director at daytime at NBC at the time, when I have hosted Truth. By this time, he was the head of the daytime at CBS. He was told Mark Goodman he had buy the Priceless right for CBS if Mark could give me the host it. Mark was always generous with me, but it was how I have known that he had to have me to host the show or to buy it. Okay. Mark would have been even more generous to me. I told him that too as well. We laughed about it. In fact, I remember that Bud Grant made a pitch to me when I was having some last-minute doubts. He said, "You come over here and do Price on CBS. Good thing when you are going to come of it." I never forget that after he bought Price. Oh, come on! Stupid bug, but anyway. A bit of time has... Oh, okay. Yeah. When I'm done with this book review, I'm done with this book. Anyway. And he keeps bothering me. Anyway. A bit of time has passed, and he was moved from head of daytime to have all entertainment at CBS. Wow, okay. When I saw him here, I said, "Congratulations, Bud. I remember when you told me that if I came over to CBS, good things will happen." I didn't understand at the time that these would be good things for Bud Grant. I'm assuming that would be for Bob Barker, which I agree of. Sorry about that. I keep rubbing my eye like that, but anyway. Okay, moving on. I kidded him about that for years. Okay. Okay, moving on. But he deserved all the success. But Grant knew daytime he didn't just buy Price. Okay. He also bought Jack Barry's The Joker's Wild and Gamut. Okay. With Wink Martindale as host. Both shows debuted the same days that Price did. Okay. All three shows were hits. If you watch this now, Brian Martin, bring back The Joker's Wild. Did not really have time for Grant Rafe. Okay? Moving on. But also bought The Young and the Restless. And if you watch this, Dad, this was one of your favorite shows of all time. And The Bold and the Beautiful, which is good. If you watch this, Dad, you're going to love these shows. Anyway, both of which are still driving on CBS. In fact, CBS has been the number one in the daytime ratings for 20 years. Okay, what about PBS? Because this is my favorite station. Duh. Anyway, thanks to no smart part of Bad Bud Grant's purchases and scheduling. He really knew daytime, early game shows. Speaking of ratings, The Price is Right was a smash from day one. We haven't had a ratings problem. That's a testimony to the energy. Samarizing have been asked this word. And the enthusiasm have been asked this word. Excuse me. That was so much and that much part of the show. It was electric. In fact, that was a terrific energy in the studio that were on the air. It was never let up. There were shows that actually had to buy audiences. But one problem was fitting people in. We have lines around the building, and some people were sleeping out there. Let me get back to the early days of The Price is Right. I was explaining why I think the show was so successful. First, these types of shows were not originally called game shows. Okay, if you watch this Alex Paris, what? I don't know. I've read the book earlier, YouTube game shows. What are they called? Let me just read it now. They are called audience participation shows. We're about to do a YouTube audience participation show soon, but that's just me. And that's a key element of them. Okay. It was always the spontaneous nature of the entertainment to the guest reactions and unscripted moments. Okay. The evidence, the humor, and the personalities of average people getting excited and having fun. When people ask me how I made a living, I told them I made a living creating spontaneous entertainment with a unrehearsed contestants. Makes sense. I never want contestants who are chosen 2 weeks in the advance, taught a game, told what to say, how to smile, but anyway, and how to react. That is. I was not interested in that. I was wanted to talk with people who were surprisingly, they're suddenly on television. I'm surprised they were suddenly on television. Excuse me. Anyway, totally were natural. They might be standing there in a coat and tie on their next page. Anyway, let me just see how my pages left. Okay, come on. Okay. 55. Good. Okay, we're still in 12 more pages left. Anyway, shorts and sandals with a sunburned nose, but they're natural. Okay, that makes sense now. Natural. Okay. The personalities of the contestants were the lifeblood of the show. People in the audience. Okay. We root for the contestants and the viewers. Let me just rub my eye. Excuse me. Anyway. Ugh, nasty. Okay, what I was saying. Moving on. People in the audience will root for the contestants, and the viewers will root for them as well. Okay? Okay, I misspoke there. First, the contestants were the lifeblood of the show. People in the audience will root for the contestants, and the viewers will root for them as well. Everyone is entered into the fun. Okay, people at home enjoy it vicariously. That people they picture themselves in at the show. They may be in the middle of Nebraska. They may love to be out in Hollywood when a cat. They always have about the people, the hosts of the games, and the prizes are all important prizes. Right, on the other hand, it has always been the contestants and the audience who provide the energy, the laughs, and the opportunity to create the beautiful and hilarious moments and that keep bringing people back into more. The people ask me who makes get good contestants. Good contestants. Excuse me, I misspoke. But anyway. I always said someone who behaves naturally. For price, for some people who think, oh, come on. Stupid bud, but anyway. Okay, no. Go away. Move on. Oh, no. Stupid. Anyway. I keep reading the book, and all of a sudden these flies bother me, but anyway. Next. Okay. What am I going to say? I always said someone who behaves naturally for price some people think they have to jump around and scream out they won't get on the show. Okay? They try to do that, but it's phony. It won't work. Okay. Okay, makes sense now. Whatever that was. If that is, you're not natural way. Whatever. That you're not going to come off and, well, trying to do it. No. It works that way. Move on. But if you're in your natural way, it will happen. I have to have people text me officials who are hilarious. But they'll have great fun. But if you behave naturally and you're reasonably, going with your stand the right and price is right, you have the chance to get on the show. If you're too impervious, it's not going to work. But if you try too hard, it's not going to work either. And I agree with that. The Price is Right is easy for me. Plingo is good. Just be natural. Try to. That's the way to be good contestant. I didn't select my own contestants at Price. Originally, we had one of the producers do it, and eventually we had some contestants, coordinators to do it. Yeah. We probably have, over the years, half a dozen people to do it. But all of them knew I wanted people whom I could have fun. Our contestant coordinators went to help out into line outside before the show and talk to the people. They made the selection following my guidelines. But I never knew who was going to be on the show, and the people chosen to be contestants didn't know it as well either. But they didn't know until the name was called to come on down. Okay? That's how we get to the wonderful reaction to joy. That's good enough. Another phase of Price success, if the show's always had a live feel, was intentional. It was a big part of the show's energy and appeal. As I said, my background was in live entertainment on both radio and television. So that's what I felt comfortable in, and that's what eventually an attitude is that I wanted to foster. That's what I've done all over Southern California radio shows with Darby Joe, and on Truth or Consequences. Okay. Okay, come on. No, I don't want a bug bothering me. Anyway. Always bought the show out of time. So I'm gonna get ready if I don't get this book out of my way. Anyway. If you watch this, Billy, I don't know, but anyway. I always bought the shows out of time. In other words, I did them in time to match our life of show. This assured that the broadcast had a live feel, which everyone loved. Beyond that, I always wanted to decide what went on the air. I didn't want somebody to edit the show and decide that this goes as it says, stays. Excuse me, I misspoke, but anyway, moving on. I didn't want someone else to decide whether or not it's funny about the show. I know what's funny. I did. If you do live to them, that's it. What you see is what you get. So that was I did. If something went wrong, you covered one way or the other. If you do it live to the time, it always had the consistent, natural feel. Was the energy of the momentarium never fade. Bits and pieces agreed, but that's just me. But anyway, it worked beautifully. And it's expensive. Sorry. I saved CBS millions of dollars and any cost. I think we maintain a more lively show that's a win-win situation. Sometimes we have people fall down, coming down a side. We have it left in. We might fall flat in the bare faces, or go in long struggles until they eventually tripped over themselves and get hurt behind the bump. Which I have to agree about. I saw an episode about it in the 5th year on television video. And I'm like, hold on. Did this guy got hurt very bad? Or hurt a girl? I don't know. But that's just me. Anyway. Of course, we have Pages running right out there, helping get our feet and up on the stage. I might make a remark like, been drinking again, huh? Or something like that, and we roll on the show. We have situations like with Miles would be pulling the refrigerator doors and that didn't open, which I saw years ago, by the way. Our cabinets and it was stuck all night, the jobs, and then we kept going. The mom will be up there tugging on over doors and the handles and pulling on doors that wouldn't open. And I have to see what's going on. I was like freaking out, you know? And we had to make the best of it, and all went while getting laughs. You know, when all this got dropped, I feel horrifying with these guys. I mean, when I saw this, it wasn't funny. And it was not funny. I saw this. I'm like... But then all of a sudden, it was just meh. Nah, I was like, I felt worried with this model right here. But anyway. I remember one time we had a refrigerator that was shopping for food and sitting on the dolly. And they did not shoot the dolly, of course. They shut the refrigerator, and the mom was just jobbing to open the refrigerator door. When she opened it, the way it was opening the door was enough to cause the refrigerator to tilt in the dolly. And everything in the refrigerator came crashing. Which I talked about early in the episode, which is sad, you know? On the door, on the floor. We left everything and just played. I told the audience, try to picture this refrigerator without all the stuff lying around there on the floor. It really is a beautiful refrigerator, you know. I told the announcer, go ahead, Johnny, please describe this mess. And I agree with what happened during Johnny Nelson's mess. And I felt worried, you know. A few times on the show we called the commission's name Harry Brown, Come On Down. Well, it turned out to be there was 2 Harry Browns in the audience. Okay? I've never heard of that before. And when they both came down, then I said, now wait a minute here. Is your name Harry Brown? And he said, yes. And the other, is your name Harry Brown? And he said, yes. And then I turned around, turned to Roger Dominus, our producer, or someone knew that Harry Brown, we know, wanted as the next contestant. Which one was the one chosen. And I have to agree with that. There are 2 Harry Browns. I don't know what's his middle name, what his last name. You know? But anyway, Harry Brown was his first and last name. But what is his middle name? What his middle name is what I'm asking. I turned the other and said, maybe, okay. What's the other was chosen? I asked. Okay. I turned to Roger Doris, our producer, or someone who knew about Harry Brown. We wanted it as a next contestant. Which was the one chosen? I asked. He pointed out the right Harry Brown, and I turned to everyone and said, maybe next time. And we go on, and how all this went on the air. Yeah, I agree. I have to agree. I haven't seen that before. This is mind-blowing, man. You know, that's just me. But anyway. I remember the show when we called the name of our contestant, and I didn't know whenever it was a senior or junior. But they both got the audience, and we both got father and son. Okay? And it came down, and it was a senior that we wanted. And I turned around to the junior. What a thing to do. Try to answer their own father to get on The Price is Right, and I said, you've been ashamed of yourself. Now get back here and sit down. I agree with the son. I agree with probably the mom, but funny. The audience roared with laughter. Yes, I agree with the audience. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Another time, Mom accidentally drove a car in the wall. Okay. We rolled in the car with Mom at the wheel, smiling in the camera, and she smiled and smiled with more. Oh, come on, my video car. Anyway, at the car roll, bam. Oh man. Anyway, into the wall. We just keep going, and I said, I'm going to give you a chance to win that beautiful car with the dent bender. Oh, jeez. And the audience cheered the idea. There was so many moments like that, with so many Comic Guy episodes, and mishaps that were ensured, but we always left them in. And the show must have been ritual for it. Of course, the all-time on-air mishap was one everyone always talk about, was the show's lay in the tube top. Yeah, I saw it with Wake Martindale's YouTube channel. And if he talks about that, then in the book, then I'll talk about it. But if not, then oh well. Anyway, when her name calmed down, she jumped on her feet and began to jump up and down, and her breast pop up in the tube top. Oh man. She didn't know it. She was in contestant's row and lay in the front row with her. She dropped down and pulled her in the top tube drop back up. She came on down and they came out to CBS. To no one who had forgotten it. Actually didn't see it until when it happened. I'm waiting to be behind the doors to be introduced. When I came out on stage, oh my god. Anyway, the audience was roaring with laughter. I was never heard of this, but no, I have not. I'm sorry, but anyway. And applying this seriously. At first, I was all for me. I thought this audience was literally loves me. Then I decided there's no audience had ever been found of anyone. Oh, yeah, this is the episode I saw in Priceless Right from 1976. Not the Rich Fields one. Okay, there's one. Oh, no, it's not that. No. This one of my favorite moments. This is where she topped the hair off and things like that. Okay, that makes sense now. Okay. That'll be one I wanted to refer to you. Okay. But anyway. After until waiting to be behind the doors to be introduced, when I came off stage, the audience was one laughter. Anyway, applauded abundantly. At first, I thought it was all for me. I thought this audience would really love me. And I decided no audience had ever been found of anyone. I turned to Johnny and asked, what is going on out there? Johnny said, Bob, this girl has given her all for you. Okay. When Laugh is on display, we put a banner across her chest so you can see anything. The viewers at home know full well what happened. Shoo! Okay, moving on. Anyway, this is a Dow Street have announced it the most talked about incident in the Price is Right history. That was the censored version of the Price is Right where you get top of heads and shoulder, whatnot. In the black, this lady, I'm not sure what's her name, but she came down and she, like that, I don't know what to do. Anyway. Speaking of Johnny Olsen, he was a great announcer and beloved part of the show. The audience in the studio and the fans at home love him. He has third credit a very popular slogan, "Come on down." "Come on down" was just the 3 words in the script. But Johnny came up in the delivery, the tone, and excitement. It was a magical, and it really took off. I was really often asked, do I mind and do I got tired of hearing it when people call me in the street? The answer is never. I love it. It means to them they watch the show. People always saying, "Come on down" to me. And I don't mind at all. I agree with that, Bob. Come on down sometimes make me real tired. Sometimes it's not, That's just me. I consider it as a tribute to the show. Yeah. And anyway, when people ask why The Price is Right was so successful, my agent SS always said, I would expect him to say that it was all because of the host. Yeah, I agree. But it's true there was a combination of things that, in addition of the response spontaneously and the live atmosphere, okay? The basic premise of the show was strong, okay? Everything we did on the show was based on the prices, okay? And everyone including everyone in with prices. You can see policeman, a doctor, a rider, a cab driver, with eventually prices. When we brought out something like for contestants to bid on, which is good enough, I guess. At home playing right along, oh, that's a good bid, or that's not enough, or that's too much, for example. The viewer at home might be standing at our board, okay? Feeding an infant, or cleaning the house, or doing whatever. But once we got, oh, come on, stupid bug, shoot. Anyway, and once we got into the prize guessing praise on the show, they eventually get engaged, thinking and I am themselves thinking, let's see, that should be about $10 or $200 or whatever the case may be, for example. Okay? Whatever they think, they have to become involved in whatever every game show wants. Every show with viewer involvement. And we have to have a NTH, how I pronounce it, sorry. Degree. That I pronounce it, sorry. On the subject of the prizes, I have to confess, I would have been a terrible contestant. I don't know the price of everything. One time a reporter came in to do an interview with me, and he bought a grocery bag of items. He said, okay, you've been asking us a question all these years. Now we've gone to BC, how you know the prices. I did terribly, I didn't know what everything cost. He said, no refrigerator for you. Shoot! In fact, it's nothing for you, and you're dead stick with the side of your microphone. Okay. We're in the 50-minute mark, so we're moving on to the next page. Why should I pay any attention to these prices on the show? I could win anyway. Yeah, still. We also had beautiful models. Beautiful woman, that is. Now in The Price is Right, we have beautiful men. Okay? Like one man in The Price is Right, that is. Accordingly, my status, there is 1 or 2 men. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. Who did the playing prizes? Germanist merchandise or provide able grace imbued to the show. The models were extremely popular to our audience, along with the announcers Johnny Olsen, the late Lod Rodney, and Rich Fields. And now there's George Gray. So, what do you think? Anyway, they had become a valuable part of our service. A success. People hope they know them as well. Both our announcers are models. Did a fantastic job. Okay? The Price is Right was a fast-moving show. We played 6 games per show. We continuously develop new ones. We also have 8 games in the time that my retirement. Well, I just said that you don't like what you were doing right now on the show. What you have 4 or 5 minutes. Well, we're doing something completely different. People ask me how I do that show for so long. I say because it was always different every day. Different contestants, different games, different prizes, different audience, and so forth. They're all unique attraction. Shoot! Should be bugging my nose. Anyway. Moving on. That every show was different because you never knew what's going to never happen. What's going to happen. We played Plingo, and according to the 25 now, 25 aired Plingo the Game Show. If you watch it out, it's for you. But anyway. And some of our games once a week. Good enough. We played some of the games every other week. And there were others we played less frequently. Okay? Our format was so flexible that I could spend every time was a contestant. It was partly entertaining or funny. If we are having fun and giving laughs, I said we contestant would make up in the time somewhere else in the show. Okay? Someone once said about me that I make my living making other people funny. I think that sum it up. I think something to be funny. I never try to get a laugh at their experience. Expensive, excuse me. I misspoke. But anyway, let me check my uploads. 80%. Good. Okay. It's almost finished, but okay. Once I get done with this book review, then I'll be 100%. Okay. I never get a laugh at the expense. Okay. As a matter of fact, I played straight men to a contestant. A delivery setting them up for a laugh. Okay. I think I was able to establish rapport. Okay, that makes sense now. But anyway, guess quickly as I got them to open up and reveal themselves a bit, because they felt that they knew me already. Never played any other part of television. I was never a doctor or a detective. I was always Bob Barker. That's who he is, by the way. What you saw was what you got. Okay? What people want to see me on the street, it was a restaurant. I was always the same. I was the same guy. People always felt like they knew me because they would have to watch me on years on Truth or Price. And I always be just Bob Barker. I always have my wife on my shows occasionally. Okay. I talk about my pets, and I also had them on my shows over the years as well. After a while, you have established a bound with your audience. I never wanted a contestant to leave with his or her feelings hurt. I wanted them to enjoy every moment of the show. I wanted them to look back on it as a fun memory of their life. Yeah, I agree with Bob with this one, okay? I try to treat them just as if they were guests in my home. I never try to put them down, which is I agree of. I know there are comedians who do and make a huge success of it, but they're not my style. And I agree with Bob. I was a filmmaker and technician, which I'm not a game show. I'm part of the game shows part-time, but, that's just me. But anyway. Try to have fun with the contestants, and I kid them. And I hope they're in a loving way. When we got letters, plenty of them for people who said being on the show was one of the highlights in their lives. One of them, the best thing that ever happened to them, is always warned and encouraged to receiving those kinds of letters. I can't take all the credit because our staff, Shu, okay, did a great job handling people. Shu has had a wide appeal from the beginning, a complete success session of the country. Okay, I have to say, on all these years, next page, I did Prize. Our audience and contestants have always displayed good manners, and I have to disagree or disagree on this. They were excited, and there could be zany and unimpressive bits and pieces from me. But our guests always stayed within the boundaries of good taste. But we didn't have the bleep out profanities. Bits and pieces disagree, but I have to disagree on when you bleep out profanities like this. Which, by the way, I tried everything like this. Sorry. Like some guest shows have to do, which, yeah, I'm not going to do that anyway. I think in general all the guests knew they were on a family show, and that currently, I want Price to appeal to people of all ages, colorful, and nationalities. I wanted to be a show that you could sit down with your mother and watch and not be embarrassed in everything we said or did. And you could agree to that big time. Our show is different from the others in lots of ways. Not only that we did leave our unscripted moments and have pat houses with the tapings of a show. We have contestants that you did not see in our other shows. We have 90-year-olds, which I saw on television, bits and pieces. But on YouTube, bits and pieces. But that's just me. That was and then one time on YouTube, I saw a 90-year-old grandma on a Price is Right game show. I'm like, okay, that makes sense now. I have a showcase winner, who have okay, never mind. 95-year-old, wow, who never see a 95-year-old on our show. The fellow was great. I made people who was in 70s and 80s, who are tall, short, fat, thin, old, young, black, white, and brown. I agree, Bob. Your skin needs to be different. The skin will be different than that. But anyway, we're in the hour mark, and we're gonna finish this. Okay. We want a diverse group. Okay. Our country is becoming more and more melting pot. We want Price to reflect that. I believe this is one reason why the show was successful and the started more for so many years. We have contestants on Price who were not given on any other show and work wonderful contestants. I like working at elderly people, and with everyone's so young, I always want great fun with them. I agree. They said things that are priceless, and you'll excuse their impression. One day at this older lady came down contestants row, which I have agreed. One time I said this in a video. I talked about this in the past. I said this in the, let's just say, one video I said before, and I say again, but I saw on YouTube that was one of my first videos I saw back in the day. But anyway, where was I? Oh yes, and she said, I dreamed about you last night. And I said, really? What's your dream? What are you doing in your dream? She said, you were chasing me around the hayloft. You could write things like that, okay? During those early years of The Price is Right, we established as enjoyable but professional style and an atmosphere of indulgent, I pronounce it, and fun would become a trademark of the show for many years, okay? That endorsement, and joy cannot be fake. And of course, it built momentum for the show the longer it ran, but it was also begun in most early successful years. We established royalty. Later on, that we could have 3 generations of family members in the audience. We're going to be watching the show for decades. Loyal, friend, and true become a popular slogan of the show. Okay? Somewhere along the line, I have said to someone on the show the catchphrase just took off. Wow. Obviously, boxes of letters from viewers and audience members who said that there were loyalty, friends, and true. And I agree with that. We have people in their audience with the slogan printed on their t-shirts. It became another symbol of the family atmosphere that's around the show. Many of the shows about 20 to 40-year-old contestants were particularly attractive. I think they were missing some great contestants by not Brock empty, how pronounce it, their scope, and have all the time on the air. We have a lot of 20 to 40-year-olds as well. Plenty of people who are physically attractive. But I suited on the cross section. I wanted elderly people. I wanted 18-year-olds. We got them. We got a lot of kids who have just turned 18 on the next page. Air on the day on the show they attended, and I agree with that. You have to be 18 to be on the audience. And have to agree, you have to be 18 to be on the audience and come on down. And they came to the show on their birthdays to celebrate. Win the car and The Price is Right. They had one memorable birthday, yes. After I retired, I got letters from people who said they wished I had to stay on a little longer because they were about to turn 18. And I've been looking forward to coming to this show for years. Which I've agreed, because I just turned 26. After 25 just launched. And by the way, I was supposed to be on Wheel of Fortune. One of my favorite game shows of all time. And that didn't happen all the time because that's the hardest games I ever played. And I want to look for it for years. Since, let's say, early 2000s. That's how I wanted to get ready for the game show. But you had to be at least 18 for that to be part of the game show. That was me. But then all of a sudden, 2016 came, which I will talk about that time. That suddenly stole my thunder. So that's why I had to get 2020 out of the way. So that's why I have to put in on what I'll talk about anyway. 2021 came, Alex did send me a link to be a contestant, which finally happened. But 2022, I won't talk about that. It will never happen. But 2023, when Mom retires, we'll do it. Watch this, Alex. But anyway, let's continue on. That kind of marketing means a lot to me, which I agree with Bob. But anyway, people frequently ask me when the shorter folks made the best contestants the Priceless Right. By and large, if I have to say, women to make the contestants by men. Okay? I have ever had great contestants of all kinds. I agree with that 100%. But many men have been hilarious. Yes. I agree with that 100%. But I've seen more good female contestants that there are good male ones as well. Okay? It seems that good men have been more trouble putting their inhibitions aside, they're going forward. But when men do, they make great contestants. But really beautiful women are some good contestants. Okay? They may be alright, but some of them are, sometimes I think maybe they're beautiful, really awesome. So, problem is, they haven't been that to be amusing or interesting locally. Okay? But when you do get on a beautiful woman who is funny as well, but you have a winner, a super contestant, for the most part, I have like contestants that 30 or to 50-year-olds, rather than really young. What? Perhaps the young ones haven't seen enough of life. And I have to agree with Bob with this one. But often they are very wary of a situation like being on the television, but taking a woman of 35 to 40, on the other hand, she'll live long enough who knows she's going to survive this. Let's just have some fun. We also have the handicap contestants on The Price is Right. If a person in a wheelchair was called to come on down, a page will prepare to roll them down to contestants' roll. And you heard train in the background. But anyway, and then you have one. They have one. I say you win. Come up here on the stage. The page will scroll wheeling him or her toward the stage. I have to agree. At this point, we want to stop tape. In a matter of only a few minutes, the contestants will prepare to roll on stage. We will stop tape, and I will say, "Here comes Harry or Margaret to play our next game." Now, the wheelchairs, he or her. Anyway, if someone had prepared as a contestant, being handicapped did not prevent him to be on The Price is Right. It won't happen, yeah. But being kind of the prize, when they wanted to participate, they wanted to be contestants. One day there will be a lady in the audience who will be pregnant. Yeah. During the commercial, she gave every addition that she would get about to deliver her baby. I asked the pages about her out, and she said, "I didn't want to go. You might have to call my name." I said, "Madam, we're not going to call any names until you're going to be on your way to a hospital." Fortunately, they have to they got in the hospital in time to get the big event. Okay, this is just so bad. Yeah, I have to agree with this lady. Let her go, Bob. You know? But she resented people's desire to be on the prize better than anyone else I have met. The Price was so popular after 3 years, Bud granted the network headed production programming, so he wanted to make the show an hour instead of half hour. Yes. This was revolutionary. Nobody ever says we'll have half-hour-long game show. It was Ball and Avengers' idea. He went to Mark Guzman and said, "Do you think we can do this for an hour?" Mark assured Bud we can do it. We began playing 6 games instead of 3 per day. It was added to what will become the famous big wheel to the show. We got 2 more pages left and we'll wrap up the show, okay? One format became the 3 games, the wheel, 3 more games, the second wheel, and the showcase at the end of the show. Not only were the first game show to succeed as an hour-long show, but our show 5. In fact, Priceless even better in the hour-long format than it had ever been as a half-hour show, okay? As it gave me more time to have fun with the contestants and the audience, okay? Now, let me go ahead and check my upload real quick and see. 92%, yes! Okay. Moving on. Next. Okay. Okay, I have to move on from there, okay? What's next? In fact, Price was even better in the hour-long format than it was half-hour show. But it could be more time to have fun than the contestants and the audience. Following the heels of successful success, our other game shows tried the hour-long format, but all of them struck out. We have a solid structure and format in place. Seasoning people involved with the production of the show, and audience popularity was unprecedented. We know we were on into something, but we have no idea. We have no idea that will last as long as it did. That surprised all of us, but it was a wonderful surprise, which I agree. I became involved in the production of the show as well. Frank Wayne was executive producer for 18 years. Wow. Before I took over. Frank was ill for the most of a year, and during that year, Roger Dormas and Phil Rossi are producers to come and ask me to advise in making decisions. After Frank died, I took Mark Guzman's onto that things are going to be very well, and that I would like to become executive producer and continue as we were. Mark said, "Bob, let's do it." And do it we did for 45 years. And he said, "Sure, okay." As I look back now on the incredible 45-year run, I have many happy memories. I love the whole Price is Right experience. As I've been through this book in my life, as I always come back down to people. The audience and the contestants. Yes, we have great prizes, and people love to win prizes. Okay. We gave away cars and boats and kitchens and living rooms and exciting trips to faraway places, which I love to do as well. Not cars, but I have to get the car, which is a good thing. Boats, we'll see what happens. But anyway, yes, we have great announcers and support staff. We have beautiful women displaying the prizes, but everything always comes down to the Spanish energy and entertainment provided by the audience and the contestants, okay? I always said that the prize, we don't solve the problems of the world. We try to help you forget your problems within an hour, and we succeed. Okay? To me, the real joy of this show was to watch people reveal themselves and to watch excitement and humor unfold. Okay? It wasn't always fresh because it was always about the interaction with everyday people with hilarious and helpful, heartfelt moments that we occurred. That humanity, with that humor, was that everyone had somewhere inside. Okay, that was for people that bring it to our show, and that wasn't our show from bringing it into living rooms around the country. That is a good idea, Bob. Good idea. Anyway, it was fun to give prizes to people, always the contestants themselves, and their personalities, dramas, and stories. That's good. You never know what you're going to find. It's always like men for gold. I searched for that nugget, the chicken nugget that is, that person with whom I could enjoy a really good time. Yeah. Over the course, the 35-year with the Price is Right, I was fortunate enough to be in the middle of all the humor, warmth, excitement, and laughter. I found plenty of nuggets, and if you add them up, I may even do as far as to say I had the mother mode. And that was chapter 2. What did I think about this chapter 2 of this book? It was, some of the chapter 2 parts were good, but some of the chapter 2 parts were very well meh. But some of the chapter 2 ones are also exciting with the Price is Right, but also is meh. It is also good, but that's just me. But anyways, guys, that was the book reviews episode 24. I hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for the next one, which is going to be book reviews episode 25, chapter 3 of this book. I am a Priceless Memories. Till next time, it's Joseph. Bye. Peace out, baby. Get more videos, guys. Be soon. Till then, out. See ya.